Hi, everyone. Hope you're well. Um, we are a few minutes early, so we will wait until 11. Um, and we will start this Etsy workshop on photography. I hope you're all well. I'm going just to check on YouTube that everything is working. Um, do let me know if it's all well there, your end. Um, we're going just to start in 1 minute. In the meantime, just grab a cup of tea and a notebook, and we will start very shortly on. Great, excellent. Thank you so much for telling me that it's all good, as I couldn't find the link. I'm just like multitasking all these screens just to see it's working. Excellent. That's good. So, yes, we're going just to start right now. If you can grab a notebook and a cup of tea, and we're going just to head into photography, how to use the photos in terms just to get more sales and just to get our listings more optimized for our shops. Good morning, everyone. We are here 11 o'clock, so we will go live right now. If you have any questions, what we're going just to do is that we're going just to do a presentation, and then we are doing a Q&A, if that's okay. So leave the questions for the end, or just write them, but then I cannot, when I'm doing the presentation, I'm not going just to read them. I read them afterwards. I hope that sounds good. So let's start now. A little bit first about me. My name is Silvina, and I run My Paper Cut Forest. I've been doing this for a while now. I think 10 years this year on Etsy. And I do paper goods and miniatures and craft kits and anything papery. I'm a paper artist. I'm as well the captain of the Brighton Etsy team. And I really, really love all these workshops and education programs, as I really think that we can all help each other to succeed on Etsy, as everyone has tips and everyone knows a bit of everything. So this is just, I really hope this Etsy workshop can help today. We're going just to be talking all about photography. Right. What we're going just to see today is the importance of photography and video, equipment, styling, we have a kind of a little activity that I will leave you at the end, and a recap. So photography has a big impact on buyer behavior. I think this is always a good thing, just to think how you are as a consumer in general. When things are not working, or things that need just to be a little bit more optimized, you think, okay, why is not? And you just put yourself as a consumer. When I buy, what do I check if I want to buy something? And particularly right now that we're buying online and we cannot actually see the product and touch it and feel it and see how, the dimensions and everything has to be extremely clear on the photo of what you see. So you're actually doing them a favor to give them more and more information in the photos, just to visualize how that product will look in the house, or if it's jewelry, how they will look in their ears, or a necklace. So it is a massive, massive important factor when we are purchasing online. So we are seeing here a little video of a shop. And what we're going just to see now in general is just to start just to understand a cohesive shop, and how just to actually do photos in your studio. You don't need just to have a lot of equipment or money just to do this. So we're going just to see a few tips. Of course, it helps that if you want us to invest on photos, fab. But the idea is just we're going just to give you some tips to do things at home with things that you have already, um, to create some really lovely shots. So, as we were just talking before, in the importance of photography, basically, once your buyer discover your listings, the photos are just kind of doing the talking really for you. Uh, and they are absolutely a major influencer in their purchase behavior. Um, so again, just think, when you buy, I'm sure you just do the same. It's more enticing, and the listings that they have a great photography. So we can communicate important details on those photos. This is a chat that I find really always, so it's really important just to note that this is a customer research that they did on Etsy, and they just found that the product photos are the buyer's purchase decision, is the quality of images, um, more than the cost of items, and their shipping costs and their reviews. So this is why it's just so important. Um, it is kind of like the most important influence on that purchase. So 90% of shoppers said that the quality of photos were extremely important or very important on the purchase decision. So yeah, we kind of now we're going just to work on that. So these are a few photos that are examples of high quality images. So you can just have a look. So I'm sure you did shop online, and what we're going just to see is like different types of photos that you can just add to your listing. We need kind of appealing photos, and as well, you can just show packaging, you can just show close-ups and how just to use it. You can just use for textures and materials. I think if we now knows that the photography contributes directly to the buyer engagement, just to get a conversion. And what I mean conversion means from click to then actually check out. Um, we are going just to see what kind of images we can actually create to get a listing quality score. So, um, and when we say listing quality score, means it's not only like the title of the SEO, is the imagery from that uh, product, and then we have as well the SEO and the tags and the description. So all that make a listing quality score on the product. Sorry, I'm going just to have a little bit of a cold. Apologies. Um, so while we know that different types of products may require different photography, we always keep your customer in mind when you are actually taking the photograph and making the imagery. And we just see how we can represent your brand in the correct way. What colors? What is the feeling that you want us to give? What props are you going just to use? So it's something that we're going just to explore in the workshop today. First of all, what is considered a good photo? Um, I think um, what we have here is that, let's go back to this one. I think number one is just to grab attention, right? We want the just grab attention from the shopper, just to click and buy as well. So we display the product clearly so buyers understand exactly what is for sale at glance. Answer buyer questions, but communicated information about size, color, texture, and materials. Capture both the purpose and feeling of the product, and help shoppers imagine the products on their lives and align them with your overall brand aesthetic. As well, there's other questions that we can answer in a photo. For example, how big it is, what material is it, can I see the details, is this is this seller trustworthy? Buyers as well have diverse taste in style, but some, you can actually get more receptive with lifestyle imagery. Other, they will be more about like a zoom in and a close up. And as well, photos might be needed category specific. For example, craft supplies. What is it? What is the item? Yeah. So lifestyle imagery maybe not works, but then it will work, as I say, assuming or hands on with that product. Or furniture, for example, buyers might want us to visualize that on their home. So, for example, in that case, a lifestyle imagery will work very well. So, this is what a photo quality will work as a whole. So first you have content and, well, the amount of photos. If you have 10 photos to use, if you can use as many as you can is good. I will say more than 5 is actually better. So don't put less than 5 photos. So and then the content, what kind of angles, lifestyle is on a person, in use, variations. So this is just kind of like provide information of the product. And then characteristics of it, like, does the photo look professional, does the item feels high quality, all that as well can say a lot in the imagery that you are using. So if it's blurry, again, it just doesn't give the right feel. So if you can just put high quality photos, with a color that is correct, and kind of maybe backdrop and some styling, some props, that will be actually a good idea. We're going just to look more in detail in this workshop. So these ones, for example, are just examples like high quality images. And as you can see, you have group photos, shots that in use, others, just with a white background. Others here, you can just see in situ lifestyle. These are just as you can see as well, is they're all quite bright, natural light. Um, that gives you a bit of a glance. So a recap of what we just discussed is just the best product photos will grab the attention of the shoppers, display the product clearly on a desktop and mobile devices, communicate things like size, color, and materials, and capture both the purpose and the feeling of the product. And they will help shoppers imagine the product in their lives. So on the list photos, you have other places on your Etsy shop that you can actually put high quality images. That is your shop banner, your shop icon, the personal avatar, and the about section. So please take advantage of this opportunity. I think just to customize your shop as much as possible, because you're communicating your brand, your ethos, the process photos, people really like to see that. Just remember this: people buy from people. okay? They buy from you. So as much information that you're giving them about you and your shop and your process, and it's just people like that. So the about section is very, very, very important. Just so go and check. You can put 5 images there. As well, you can put a video. If you don't like just to put a video, I mean, I have a little video saying, "Hi, I'm Silvina." So as well, just very, very short video about me. But you can just put photos about you or your process, your hands making that product. I think that just suits very, very nicely. So just check your about section and see if they communicate the feel of your brand. These are some examples of some shop banners and as well personal avatars. Like it's kind of a cohesive looking brand. That's another one. So I just put a few images just to show. That's another one that as well is just showing some about photos and a really nice banner. Then we have videos, and the listing videos are a very good idea just to show maybe 360 degrees of your product. I think so, 10 seconds. So it doesn't have just to be super difficult, the video. For example, I do miniatures. So I grab the miniature and I just show the whole 360 angle from my little miniature. So and that really helps the videos. So please do use the videos if you can. They don't all have just to be the same. You can some show I don't know, packing, so you can show your packaging. In others, you can just show the video like that or zoom in. Just it's a very, very short one, but I feel that as again, this is the only way that the shopper can actually access some information that is very, very hard sometimes on photos. So do use the videos if you can. Uh, it has to be just kind of a short one. So it's something just to look into in your shop as well. Now, we all have a smartphone. So you can actually take videos with your smartphone at home. They're quite high quality and very easy to upload. So then they don't have just to be kind of very complicated. We just give here a few ideas how just to do this, like set the stage, prep your phone, uncluttered background. I think a white backdrop, I always say you just go to any art shop and buy a 20p very massive white sheet of paper and you just put it like that, and that's your backdrop. It doesn't have to be that difficult. Put that next to a window, so natural light, and then that's it, you are set. Maybe as well, if you want us to put some props next to it, find, I don't know, a nice plant in your home. It really doesn't have to be like complicated. I think always less is more, in my opinion. Then prep your phone, just charge it, and of course check that you have enough storage space. Light the scene. I actually use natural light. I think is better and makes the job. But then if you don't have that, you can just we're going just to see different light settings in a minute, and they can be as well very cheap just to buy. Stabilize the camera. Try to use the camera with a tripod if you can, or just put some books just to hold the camera there. Frame the shot while you're just doing that. Try just to get the product in the middle, and then you can trim the footage before you upload it if you need it. These are again some examples of videos that people put on Etsy on the listings, so you can have a feel. And then what we're going just to see now is 3 types of video that shoppers love. Number one is videos that address common questions. Online sellers can never guarantee that shoppers take the time to read detailed listing descriptions. We all know that. So take advantage of multimedia video format to address common buyer questions, showcasing your product from a variety of angles, conveying scale, highlighting unique details of the materials and design. If you offer variations like different sizes or colors or materials, think about ways to demonstrate these options in a video. For vintage items, a listing video can help communicate any signs of wear or flaws that a shopper might overlook in a written description, preventing customer service challenges down the line. Then other videos that it can be very good is videos that show your products in use. Videos showing your product in use can clarify your product's function and details and help shoppers envision using it themselves. If you sell wearable items like jewelry, accessories, clothing, or shoes, filming the item on a model will help really just to clarify that as well, movement, right? If your items are used in a specific function like a vintage French press or a minimalist jewelry stand, uploading a simple demo of the product in use can have a big impact as well on the listing. Then other idea can be videos that highlight creative details. If the full details and dimensions of your items are more readily conveyed through the listing photos, you may decide to opt for a product listing video that highlights more of the creative process behind it. Try capturing the hands-on components of your work, different stages such as time-lapse video of the process of making your item, or the careful addition of the customization option. That will be a very good idea. So these are some of the product videos that we were just discussing. That, for example, is some process. This one is as well, if you're just selling a towel, a hair towel, that will be good just to show how to use it. I think that looks very, very nice. Yeah. Oh, this one I really like a time lapse video as well of on the process. That's really lovely. Right. So let's talk a little bit about photography equipment. What we're going just to do now is check different types of cameras, accessories, and editing tools and apps. We all use, of course, different things, but I think we can just give you some tips and ideas about this. So remember that the survey found that 90% of the buyers found image quality a very important in purchase decision, that your photography conveys not only your product but as well your brand. And we're going just to talk a bit about tools and apps. So we have 4 types of camera. The smartphone camera, the pros that we have is that are pocket size and easy to transport, most economical choice if you don't have a camera, but you already have a smartphone. The cons is just there are limitations when it comes to manual settings, lenses, and adapted to low light environments. Resolution is not as high as the top of the line cameras, and zooming typically have a little bit of low quality result. Then we have a compact, on point and shoot cameras. They come in a range of styles and have either fully automatic settings or limited options for manual settings. The pros are that The pros are that are portable and simple to use, more automatic modes and built-in settings. They're called presets. And the cons and the automatic mode on these cameras mean you have less control over shots that you will with manual settings. Like, for example, built-in flash doesn't work well with product photography, but can wash out your images. Then we have the DSLR cameras. They're kind of like digital single lens reflex camera. They're great. I mean, they're a bit pricey, but they're very good. They have interchangeable lenses, so you can actually play a bit with that. They have a lot of options for your manual settings. Light passes through the lens mirror and reflects the image to the viewfinder, so you can preview the shot. And when you press the button to take a picture, the mirror flips up. The shutters open and the light hits the sensor, capturing the image. The pros are they're very versatile. Manual options are very vast and easier to take pictures in different situations, low light, and they have a large image sensor, allowing the camera to produce sharper, high quality images. And the cons are this is a learning curve, and you need just to get familiar with the manual settings. And then we have the mirrorless cameras. Um, they don't use a mirror to capture an image. Light travels through the lens directly onto the image sensor, which relays the image to the rear screen or viewfinder. The pros is they don't have they don't need a house to house both a mirror and a prism like a DSLR. They're lighter and more compact, and they're slightly less complex to navigate that the DSLR cameras. The cons are that some models have slower focus speeds and lower quality when shooting in low lights compared to the DSLR cameras. So basically, this is kind of up to you what you choose in terms of pricing and how much you want us to take the time to explore the camera and have a play. But there are a lot of shops that they sell second-hand cameras. I actually recently purchased one second-hand, and it was fantastic condition. And I just use it for, again, in the studio, things that I want just to shoot very quickly with natural light. And it was quite affordable and very good investment, in my opinion. So this is how they look, the four models that we were talking before. We have first the smartphone, then you have top right point and shoot, then bottom left DSLR, and the bottom right a mirrorless camera. Then we're going just to talk a little bit about the accessories. There's so many tools and accessories that you can sometimes can get a little bit overwhelming. So we're going just to talk about the basic ones, just to see maybe which one could be good for you, depending what is your product. So let's talk first about lenses. When shopping for a camera lens, make sure you consider the minimum focus distance, and this is the shortest distance at which the lens can focus. So again, you depending on what you do, you can buy a lens that is more like a macro lens, so you need to something very focused for zooming, or more a lens that is a little bit more wide angle. So it just all depends. Yeah, what's your product? But you can actually buy these cameras that you can interchangeable lenses, so you can always upgrade the lenses later if you need. Tripod, some people use like books for tripods, and maybe you don't need one. They are good for stabilize your camera and just to get a clear shot. some of them, if you have your smartphone, there's some tripods that you can just put, they're like an arm, and you can just use them, for example, on top of your head if you're just doing a little video, or actually you can use them for stabilize as well the smartphone. They're very cheap on Amazon and eBay. I think less than £10. So as well, they are good for as well if you need just to do a remote shot. So a tripod can be useful, but you don't have just to spend so much money. Again, it all depends what camera you have and what kind of product you are using. But I feel that they can be useful. Then lighting tools, and this is as well. Sorry about the pings. I'll stop it, but sorry about that. Right. Hello, can you see me now? Oh, hi. I didn't know what happened. Can you all see me now? Hello, can you see me? Yes, are you back? Thank you. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Is it all good now? Excellent, good. So let's go back to the lighting tools. Apologize for that. I don't know what happened. Let's go back to the lighting tools. Excellent. So natural light, I think, is the best. Avoid direct sunlight, but actually, if you have a window, then that's the best. They say the best is around like 11 o'clock, or actually go more into like the 6, 7 p.m. I prefer like midday. But just if you avoid direct sunlight, then that's fine. Then you can just get a light box or a light tent. Those are quite cheap as well. And that's actually how do you call it? They can just sell, again, it's all depend what is your product, because some of these ideas maybe don't work for you because it's massive. But then these light tents, they give you a consistent backdrop, and they have a light source. They're like a little box with a light inside, with all white walls around. They're quite cheap and small, and that can be helpful for lighting smaller items. Then we have bounce cards and reflectors. They are very good for outside. I'll show you a photo in a minute. They are kind of a round metallic card reflector, and basically reflects the light to the product. Then you can use as well a soft light, soft box light. That can be there are artificial lights, and they're very good for lighting larger items. I have one of those, and I bought them. I have two of those that I bought them for £40 both, and that helps again in the studio, just to put that when you need an extra light. Then external flashes, if you need that, you can again add the flash to your camera. And you have flash diffusers that you put on the flash to actually disperse the direct light when you make the flash. Right. So these are what I was explaining before, about the backdrop. You can just get a piece of paper, and then that could be very simple next to your window. Then you have here the soft lights that we were just talking before, and then the light box that I was just saying that it has already the little walls and a light on the top. These ones are the flash. Then you have the flash diffuser and the reflector as well. So the reflector and the flash diffuser down a second row, and on the top first, actually, you have the external flash and the bounce card. Then let's talk a bit of the photo editing. Is everyone see me now? Okay, so good. Yes. I will tell all the questions at the end. Yes. So I cannot read right now your questions. I can just came back just to see that I'm back. I'm back. It's all good. But at the end, we'll go through the questions. Okay. So let me just finish with the presentation, and then we go back and we can discuss all the things. So photo editing. Some tips that I will recommend is that you edit your photos. Like, just check that the light is fine. Maybe finishing touches, to see a little bit of light, not too much, but just a bit. Crop your photos, just to remove the excess white. Don't go overboard with editing. Just a little bit of lighting and contrast, and please don't use the Instagram filters. I think they alter the colors, and that's not a good idea. Some tools and apps that I recommend. You can get Photoshop on your computer or Lightroom on your phone. Lightroom is great. It's fantastic. It's kind of a quicker version of Photoshop. So that's a very good one if you can have that. Then if you are using your smartphone to take pictures, these are the apps that we recommend: Snapseed, Pixlr, VSCO, Lightroom Mobile, and A Color Story. Those are apps that you can actually put in your smartphone, and they're very good. So a note on image resolution: try to get high quality listing images. So 2000 pixels is the shortest side of the image, and resolution of 72 ppi. Better resolution will get clearer, sharper images, and we just really recommend that. If you decrease the size of an image, it won't lower the resolution. So just don't worry about that. Try just to check always when you're putting images. Just check the listings on another device, or ask a friend if to check that they look correct. So it's something just to have in mind. Then let's go through some photo styling fundamentals and essential types of product photography. This is something that I think we should just think in styling in general with your brand. Yes, so for example, colors. And I don't know, if you, for example, let me talk about my brand. For example, my brand is kind of about it's handmade, it's one-off, it's very botanical, it's all sustainability. So I'm trying just to convey that kind of colors when I choose props and that. So the idea is just that you speak about your brand and the consistency in what colors you're using, what kind, I don't know, if your brand is fun and bright colors, maybe you will go for more bold photos and bold colors on your backdrops. So this is kind of thing that you have to make decisions and try just to get those in, not only in the photos, but as we said before, in your about photos, in your banner, so those are things that are just to have in mind. Make sure your product is the star of the photo, as I say, just in the middle, that's the most important bit. Try to use models if you sell clothes or accessories, and experiment with lighting and props. I think it's a good idea just to just to try different things. But try different backgrounds and see what it plays better with your brand. I mean, you know your brand more than anyone. So just trust your instinct to say, okay, no, I want just to go more greens, or props. I'm going just to use some leaves or things from the forest, and that will give the kind of cottage core idea that I want just to give to a brand. For example, I'm just putting an example, but basically, just try just to make a decision and kind of stick with it for a bit, and then you can just play up in those corners, basically. These are just some examples that I just wanted to show about very good photos that they use props or no props, as the the image of the dress is just her wearing it. These are other ideas of in situ and more lifestyle photography. These are as well, just showing a little bit more wide. They have a more different styling, maybe if you just need it. A little bit more. You can see, for example, it works dark background for this brand. Yes. So this is what we're saying about, like, it depends on your brand or what you're selling and what you want us to communicate is the colors that you choose and the props and the backgrounds. I wouldn't choose, for example, black for my brand because it doesn't communicate, but for them that they actually selling perfumes is actually correct. So this is why you need kind of just to make decisions and think about your brand a little bit as well. Then we have seasonal photography. We all know that maybe in Christmas we will change some props, or in springtime we will just incorporate floral themes, or as we said before, if it's Christmas coming, then we can actually get a gift wrap photo for Christmas shoppers, and or change some props. So that's something just to have in mind. Maybe there are certain listings. I have some listings that I only put in September that they are for Christmas. So when you take those, have in mind that a gift wrapped photo will be a good idea just to put. And actually, you take one and then you just put the gift wrap photo in all the listings. So it's actually good just to do once and then use it for everything else. These are some seasonal photography. As you can see, it's just gardening, and the other one is more Christmassy. This as well is just really lovely example of effective styling for seasonal items. That's just really gorgeous. A little bit more. A little bit more. These are definitely more Christmassy or more kind of anniversary of birthday, or it's just really, really lovely. Another one. So talking about backgrounds, keep it simple is something that I will just go number one. Keep it simple. Use neutral colors like white or gray or very light pink. I think that's the easiest possible thing. Just go simple first. I think, again, less is more, absolutely. But again, particularly if you are actually photographing bold color items, so you don't need more than that. Keep the buyer's attention on the product, so try not just to clutter it too much. And when it comes to ads, I wouldn't put watermarks on your photos. That actually will count against you. So don't watermarks the photography. That will be not a very good idea. As actually advertising platform prohibited watermarks or any kind of promotional text on images. So, and it distracts from the product. So if you could just not use the watermarks. Right. This, again, is a very nice example of a simple background. and to see how it's cohesive. The look is cohesive. They all look the same. You can just tell that all these products are from the same seller, and that is brilliant, And look, they're all white wool or white background, Even the ones that she is on the photo, she's using the same background. I think this is just a very, very good idea. How simple can be very effective. Another one here. This is just, they're very nice. They look very nicely done, and the lighting is right. It's just, very simple. And then we can actually then get creative. You can use other stuff as props. I don't know, it can be basic household items like a Boster board or a wooden cutting board, placemats, fabric, wooden crates, marble tiles, seamless paper. I actually think, for example, I know they told me in B&Q they sell this wallpaper that has the idea of like, it looks like wood or it looks like floor. So that can be so cheap to go and buy a piece of that and use it in a flat lay, for example. I know you can buy online as well some boards that they resemble like a wall or something. But if you want just to go cheap and cheerful, you can always go to B&Q and check the wall, like the wallpaper, and only buy a piece if you want just to get some texture or something a bit more special. And that will be, I don't know, a couple of pounds, £2, £3. So, if you get inventive, you can just get kind of nice backgrounds for a special photo shoot, for example. These are more, I want to show you more photos that they use. They use different backgrounds very effectively. Look, one is a table and other is a piece of fabric. Then outdoor backgrounds, as we were just talking about, like photography, like lifestyles one. Again, just try to get the attention on what you're selling, particularly, if it's a person, just get in the middle of the photo, and try to aim to shoot on overcast days, because harsh sunlight, like direct sunlight, are not very good. I mean, they cause like dark shadows, so they don't look very nice. So a little bit more of cloudy days are actually better for the outdoor photo shoot. These are some other ideas that you can just see of outdoor photography. And props, what we were just discussing before, they are important, and they're visual cue that you can use to demonstrate the item scale and size, and try just to use a few, like not too many, not to get too crowded. Think about props that are relevant for your brand and your brand aesthetic, to target customers. So for example, if you sell a desk organizer, you may want just to place some notepad and some pens along the organizer, just to kind of like give it the feel, and if your products are handmade, you can include the tools that you use in the photo, like a paintbrush or a knitting needle. So just use a few props around the items that you're selling. These again are just some photos with some props that are just really lovely. More here. So you can see they're not too cluttered, just a few of them. You can actually as well check the trends. I'm going just to talk about where to find all these trends, because you can actually get inspiration on the Editor's Picks on Pinterest, and just to see, what Etsy thinks are good for photos, just to get inspiration to take your photos. So For example, this is about like trends, what's been in 2021. Checkboards prints were a huge trend. So maybe you want us to use and incorporate some trends to your backgrounds. But basically, again, you want us to feel and you want to do consistency. So when you make a decision, just kind of like then go with that, whatever your decision is. But yeah, you can actually check the trends all the time on Etsy to see what people really like at the moment. Then we're going just to see finally the 7 essential types of product photos. Number 1 is studio shot. That is the first one. That is should be on a plain background with plenty of light, and we suggest that will be the first listing photo. That's like the first clickable photo, if you can. So clutter-free, light background, that goes very, very good on Google search. So that's a good idea. And as well, when you do a thumbnail, they look very, very good, and they're very bright and very clear. The lifestyle photo shoot, that's as well how it will look on in situ. Again, depending on the product that you do, they will help just to imagine their lives with your product in their life. So it's kind of an aspirational photo, this one. They create this scene, with your product in their life. So that's again a good idea just to think, depending of your of what you sell. Then scale shot is very good just to show, again, if you something that is wearable, try just to put a person wearing it. That always is a good idea. They want just to know how a pin looks on a coat, or how that knit hat fits on a little boy. So the scale shot is always good to include. Detail shot, these are fantastic. I use detail shot a lot because, of course, I do miniatures. So it's very good just to show materials and the nitty-gritty of your product. So, and particularly in vintage, if you do vintage, it's very good just to get those imperfections maybe of the pieces. So if you can add one of these, that would be brilliant. Group shot, they look really lovely if we just sell different variations, like different colors or different, I don't know, flavors or different smells of soaps. This is a very, very lovely one that you can just add to things. Then we have the packaging shot, how people will receive the product. That is always great just to include one. Process shot is lovely just to show hands and how you are making your item. And then finally, we have here a reminder. Then you have up to 10 photos. So if you can use as many as you can, that will be great. If you need one of them just to show, for example, variation or size or whatever, you can just use that as well. So this is, for example, is showing how, they will use 10 photos on this dog backpack. And some of them are just lifestyles, others are the size and the weight. So it's always, you can add any other information that you need on those 10 slots that you have. So again, guys, put as much information as you can, in terms of like bring all the info that you can, even as an image. You can just add there, even that you repeat on the description is good, just maybe put it as an image. Then remember the variation. If you are selling different variations, you can actually on your listing select that every time the variation, they change it, they will show the picture. You can do that on your listing. When you edit the variation, you can apply one photo to each variation to look like this. So then when the buyer selects it, they can see actually on the listing before they purchase. So a little bit of a photo shoot checklist. If you want us to screen grab this, maybe when you're planning your next photo shoot, schedule the time, plan out your shots, gather your equipment, set up your background, light your products, steady your camera, take the picture, and edit the photos. So if you want this one, just to screen grab, to think about all these things before you're taking the pics, and you actually use your time wisely. We're all very busy, so it's good just to have everything ready when you going just to take that hour or that time just to take the photos. Some photography inspiration. Remember, Editor Pics is there on Etsy. It's great just to go and check what they consider a good photo, and it's very, very good to start there just to then check how to get those great ideas and great photography to your shop and to your products. A little bit of a recap. We just check about why photography is so important and why selling online is kind of key, that the photographies are good. That will be the first impression on the buyer. So it's just kind of very good just to put the time and effort or the money if you want just to pay a photographer just to do it for you. So then it's compelling just to do that purchase. Photos outside your listing. Remember the about section, the personal avatar, and your shop banner and icon. Those are a good idea just to recheck. Make sure you use your 10 photo slots for your products, just using a lot of product information and angles. Style your photos thoughtfully. You have 7 essential shots in mind, but as well will give you more ideas just to check other backgrounds and props. Choosing your photography equipment, just see how much you want to invest or how it's easier for you just to do your photos. And as I said before, less is more. Don't go overboard with editing or props or background. The product should always be the star of your listing and the photos. So try to keep it simple and unclutter. So now I'm going just to go for questions. Thank you very much for listening to me here, and sorry for the technical problems that we had. Now I'm here. I'm going just to read your questions that you put in the chat. If you have any other questions, put it in the chat, and I'm going just to read them right now. So, while I read them, if you want us to tap them, if you have any particular question that you want us to know about photography, this is a good time. So, so I'm selling greeting cards. Do I still need more than 5 photos? I would say so. I think, you can just get different, like one, for example, one greeting card, on the background, another one holding it, in your hands, another one on packing, how the person is going just to receive the greeting card, another one on a mantelpiece. I really think you can get creative. I will recommend just to go for and see other shops that sell greeting cards to give you an inspiration on what kind of photos they are doing, and that was always kind of a good idea.
Fernanda Vieira, my paper course joined.
Then, okay, I have another question here. What do you recommend to look for by a good light box? I don't use a light box, but I know that they're very cheap and cheerful on Amazon or eBay. I will actually, if you have maker friends, or actually you want us to tag us, Brighton Etsy on Instagram, I can reshare it, and if someone is using a light box, they can tell you directly which one they bought and they're using. So I can do that for you if you want. But I'm pretty sure if you just read reviews, it all depends again how big is your item and how big you need it. But I feel that doesn't have just to be too expensive, as if they're white and they have a little light, that will do the job really. But if you need a help, I can reshare it and ask for you in the team to recommend a brand. Sorry, I don't use one for my products. Then how do you use digital mockups? Well, that's another good idea. If you need to, if you sell posters, I think that's people sometimes do that. They have this image of a lifestyle photo, and you can actually put your poster on the frame. You can do that on Photoshop. You kind of need to place your poster on top. If you feel that that's the best for your product, that is a good idea. I will just combine, a bit of like the real photos and that. I wouldn't just do those. But that's a good idea too for, styling if you don't have the a nice living room to do it. That's always just, you can do it in Photoshop, so you kind of like put your poster on another layer on that size, if you know what I mean. And how do people that sell cake toppers get photo all the cake toppers at the same cake or same background? Yes, absolutely. Look, I will do that. If you do sell a cake topper, and if you're actually investing in one or two very fancy cakes, if that day is your photo shoot, you just do that. You just get all the cake, all the cake stoppers on that cake. I really think that why not? As you need to understand something. People will get to your shop in different ways. So it depends on what kind of cake stopper you are selling. It can be actually one birthday or one anniversaries. So if you're worried that they all look the same, don't, because the first photo of one listing you can just put, with the cake. Then another listing you can actually put just the cake stopper as a zoom in. You see, so they kind of look different. And remember that the person who's buying, they're going just to go through the SEO, depending what kind of cake stopper are going just to look. So I wouldn't worry too much. If I'm very up for, start with the simple and no money. We don't have to go through, get it. The cake might be a mock-up. Oh, I actually don't know if the cake is a mock-up. What I did saw is that they kind of get one cake, one nice cake, one background, and then that day is the photo shoot day. So they just kind of like change the cake stopper, but everything is the same. So that will be kind of a cheerful way just to do it. And tip, we don't have just to go inventive at the beginning, and then you're starting just to invest as more as you need. As I say, I just bought one camera myself, secondhand, that actually I invested when I needed to. So try just to get inventive. And if you think ideas, or if you see someone, from the team, very, very happy just to ask for ideas in the team, just tag us and Brighton Etsy on Instagram. And I can reshare if you have any questions to see what the rest of the team does for their photos. But what is the best way to photograph paintings for sale? So I will say, the digital mockups can be a good idea. I actually like to see the paintings. I would love to see zoom-ins of the paintings. If, for example, has texture, or if oil, or is acrylic, I would like just to see that. I would like just to see the photo that you can even touch. You feel that paint coming out of the canvas. Add that. That's very, very nice, just to show that it's a painting and not a print. You know what I mean? So you can do the mock-up like on a nice living room, but I will remember just to add those zoom-ins, and maybe why not of one you painting. The little video can be you painting, or actually, someone, if you don't like just to show your face or yourself, that people don't like just to be on camera, can be just your hands, or you in action. Just remember that people buy from people. I want us to buy from you as a painter. I want to see you in action. So just don't, don't be shy just to put your, show how you're doing that painting. I think that's very powerful, I will say. Um, I think we have all the questions. Um, I hope this was useful, guys. I'm sorry for the technical problems, but I'm always on Instagram as my Paper Cut Forest or Brighton Etsy team. You can just find us Brighton Etsy there, and we're always very happy to help. I hope this was good workshop, and thank you so much for listening to be here, and good luck with those photo shoots and that listing optimization. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye.